Hello there, wonderful beasts of the guitaring online world, and welcome back to another episode of Riff of the Week, where each week I take you through a riff that has struck me down with inspiration, and we shall share it together and grow and blossom into better musicians. Brandon Valentine here, and today we're going to be turning our microscopes to the opening riff from Black Dog, a classic by Led Zeppelin. And this riff is not only a tasty morsel, but it's also a little bit of a handful and a little bit of a brainful, and I'll get to that later. First and foremost, I'm going to simply take you through the notation of this riff and get you well acquainted with it, but then later on in the video I'm going to take a few minutes of your time to talk to you about the very bizarre and unique timing of this riff. So this riff is based around the 5th, 6th and 7th frets, and you're going to use these chromatically a lot. So get yourself in a nice comfortable position where you've got one finger per fret. Forefinger on the 5th, middle finger on the 6th, ring finger on the 7th. So we start off this riff with, which we start off 7 on the A string with our ring finger, then 5, 6, 7 on the D string. With our middle finger, at least that's how I do it, back to the 7 on the A string, then down to the 5 on the G. So a bit of a string skip with a slight little bit of tension. Then 7 on the D string. Which in and of itself is actually a pretty cool little lick when you throw it into a higher register. The next phrase of this riff is simple enough. So 7th fret of the G string, hammering on to 9, down to 5, hammering on to 7, pulling off to 5. Then 2 quick hits on the 7th fret of the D string, that A. And now for the final part of this main riff. We're just going to start off on the 5th fret of the D string, then 7, 7, 5th fret of the A string, and then slide immediately with your ring finger from 7 to 5. You barely have time to notice that E when you hit it. Then 3, 5, 3. A chord on the 5 count, and then another A chord. I'll go more into the detail about the timing later on in the video. Doing that whole original riff slowly. Brilliantly done, everyone. Get that lick up to scratch and then repeat it 3 times, leaving a little bit of a gap each time for some sultry vocals from Robert Plant. So after the 3rd rotation of the original riff, we're going to head into now this second part of the riff starts off exactly the same as how the original riff starts off with that lick, except down in E. Exact same positioning, exact same phrasing, except you're going to start off on the 7 on the E string. And in case you want a good reference for it, here, my dear friends, are some tabs. Okay, so now repeat this lick 3 times. And then after that 3rd rotation, things get a little bit funny because we're going to head into this lick. With the original riff. The best way to imagine this is after those 3 rotations, we're going to hit that same 7 on the E string, followed by the same old 5, 6, 7 on the A string, and then 5 straight away. So, opposed to the rest of the E riffs where we have, on the turnaround one, the 4th rotation, we have, and that's that. And then from there you just literally start the original riff again. And so to do that whole part slowly, so let's go from the second time the original riff kicks in, slowly and with some tabs, the whole way through. fantastically done. That's the riff. Simple parts put together very, very cleverly. And now, some of you might be thinking, brilliant, cool, all good, got it. See you later, you long-haired, egotistical lunatic. And you might be right. And some others are saying, wait. What the heck was the timing doing there? And to you, I salute. Timing. This riff has a very cheeky grip on timing because Zeppelin. You actually start on the last and of the bar before. And one. The one doesn't kick in until you hit that A with your ring finger. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes through a whole nother normal 4/4 bar. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and. Goes into a 5/4 bar. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and. So once you hit the E riff, the drums continue on in nice, simple, friendly 4/4. But the guitar starts to squeeze in a few little cheeky extra 16th notes, just because. And then, once we turn around back to, it all resyncs back up. So, whilst you're playing, you're gonna notice the riff start to shift, the emphasis on the riff, nearly like it turns upside down. According to the internet, which, who knows how true that can possibly be, Led Zeppelin themselves had an enormous amount of trouble with this turnaround. They had to start shifting it up and changing it for a live situation. Thanks for joining me, people, on this wonderful expose of one of my favorite riffs of all time. And make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more of this obnoxious, loud guitar-based behavior on a frequent basis. Click the little bell so you can get the notifications of when I'm popping up in your feed again, trying to gain your attention, to fill the massive hole in my heart. I'm Brandon Valentine, and I'll see you guys next time.